the screens aren't working either, so
Oh,
Fantastic. Is the owl working?
it all works. So we are live.
Okay.
okay, I'm gonna call this meeting to order, our committee of the whole meeting on August 10th at 7:02. Please stand for. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And then we need to do our roll. And we have our roll call
Oh, sure. Jennifer Quickly,
here.
Chris Hamilton,
Here.
Erica Peterson, Jillian Phelps, John Ruggles,
Here.
Brett Skepstrom, Lisa Wooster.
Here. And I now would like to open the floor for nominations for a president pro tem for tonight.
I nominate John Ruggles.
Second that.
Okay.
Any other nominations? Okay, John. Take over.
All right, so now we're going to, do we have any public comments? We already did the pledge. Any public comments?
We do.
That was easy enough. Additional information on discussion items? We don't have any of that either, do we? Does anybody have any additional, information or discussion items to add? Moving on, we're talking about the intergovernmental agent, agreement with CEDAW for student loans.
For student lunches.
I
yeah.
mean,
So-
student lunches.
So in your board packet, there should have been an intergovernmental agreement between CEDAW and Millburn. Essentially, since CEDAW is what's called a community, I believe eligibility provision school, so they, because of the number of low poverty students within their district, they qualify for providing free breakfast and lunch to all their students. That means that students from CEDAW attending a class in Millburn qualify for those free breakfasts and lunches. So essentially the agreement is just setting forth the rules on how to record keep this program. So really high level, how it looks is, CEDAW will keep track of all the breakfasts and lunches served to these students, and Whitson's will invoice Millburn, and then Millburn will seek reimbursement from CEDAW. So it's just for those students and for this year at least, and if we continue housing these students in the district going forward, we would just keep renewing the contract going forward.
Can we serve breakfast?
We have to for this population only.
Okay.
Yeah. Melissa, any questions?
I kind of do.
Sure.
So are we hiring like a staff just to do breakfast just for these few?
No, that's a great question. Because Whitson's employees come in after the students get here, they'll prepare it the day before and it will be kept in a chiller. So the CEDAW teachers will pick it up from the chiller and bring it to the classrooms.
It's nice.
Just curious. Yep, great question.
Anybody have anything else on that? Next item, district goals.
So the last couple of meetings, we talked about district goals, got some input from the board. I heard one of the goals was about writing and concerns with writing going into the future, something that we've talked about actually internally as well. So one of our goals moving forward is going to be writing, and it is going to be increasing the writing from 33.5% of students meeting the standards. That's on the IAR test currently, which is not great, not good at all, especially considering that overall 70% of our students meet the standards. Only 33.5 are meeting that writing standard. We want to increase that to 50% or more in the next 2 years. So we'll be incrementally trying to monitor that, but that's the big goal. And our academic administrative team went to a workshop this summer to write goals. Part of that workshop was on the 4 disciplines of execution, or 4DX. And it's about goal setting. I don't know if you've heard of that term. It's from Franklin Covey, who, Stephen Covey's company. And so wildly important goal is something that you really want to see move the needle in the future. And it could be a 1, 2, 3 year goal, but really focusing all in on, hey, that's one thing that we want to see improved. And that's one thing that we've talked about for a while. The board has given input on that. I heard that from all of you say, yeah, writing's a big deal. And we can't, it's not like we're not gonna have math goals or not track or monitor our growth in math and reading and all of the other things that we do as a school. But that's gonna be one of them. And then we're working on our second and third goals. We don't want more than 3, because if you have more than 3, you have 0. So that's where we're at. If that sounds good to the board, we will continue fleshing that out. Now we're working on, we have 2 lead indicators for this fall that we're working on. So we talked about as an administrative group or that group academically, what needs to be in place then for us to have good writing? Well, we need to know what good writing looks like. So we need to have a standard at each grade level for what good writing is. So that needs to be in place. Then we have to make sure that we know how to teach good writing. We have to know, are we spending enough time? Are we giving the kids enough time to learn how to write? Are we giving the teachers enough time to learn how to write? Learn how to teach it? So those are all the questions that we're going through. And so this fall, we're gonna look at how much time are we spending on writing? And the building leadership teams are gonna work on reporting back to the board on how much time we spend on writing and how much time we would like to spend on writing. That's gonna be by the end of September. And then the second part of that is, and building leadership will be involved with that. Articulating on writing this year to understand what exemplary writing looks like. So at the end of the year, we want clarity on what is good writing at 3rd grade for narrative writing. What is good writing for nonfiction or informational writing, which is always a struggle. And then how at the middle school, what does that look like in science? Social studies, how do we get more people involved in what's our goal? So that's gonna be our conversation this year. We haven't fleshed out exactly what we want done when, because we want to have people who are gonna be teaching it and directly impacted have input into it. But the big goal as far as the board level goal is, that my suggestion is in 2 years, we'll move the needle from 33.5% to 50% of our kids pass
On IAR.
on IR.
I know the teachers aren't here, but to the extent that you know, as we move forward, when we talk about what good writing looks like, do we even have any sort of emphasis on grammar, punctuation, sentence structure, or is that totally out the window because kids just don't care about it anymore?
Kids might not care about it, but
But we
certainly
still do.
we still do, and that's gonna be part of the discussion to make sure that it's consistent across the grade level, because some teachers might care about it more than others. So if one classroom is emphasizing punctuation differently or more than another classroom, that's not gonna help our students long term.
Cause I'm guessing by the time they're in middle school, most of their writing is in sentence fragments on a text. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
most of their social writing, for sure, and casual writing, but not at school. We still expect full sentences, grammar, punctuation, it's part of our instruction, but then are we giving enough emphasis on it, is the question. And are we following through on it, is it consistent enough? How hard are we gonna push for some of that?
I mean, even penmanship has gone by the wayside.
That's challenge, because do we teach typing? Because kids need to know how to type, and on this particular assessment that we're trying to measure our kids' writing on, they have to know how to type that. they can't write it. So by third grade, they have to know how to type in a sentence accurately and with some amount of efficiency.
Not just with two thumbs.
Not just with two thumbs.
Well, they have to know how to make a capital when
On
you're
the
typing,
on the
how to do, punctuation, so it's more than just actually physically writing.
right. And we have to teach cursive and we have to teach printing. So it's a struggle at education. It's a struggle trying to cram all these things into that.
Do we have to teach cursive?
We have to teach cursive.
We do still have
It's
to
the
teach
state
it.
law. We are gonna get audited this year. Millburn's gonna be audited this year. It's our turn. For the ROE compliance audit, so all the mandated units of study, we have to prove it. Teaching it at some point. And that's one of
It's unfortunate.
them. Why?
It's a waste of time comparatively to the things we're not doing, right?
Says you.
Yeah,
But not
I
everybody.
disagree. I think
Do
you
you
have
think
to at least,
cursive is essential?
I think for certainly as a signature is, yeah, I do.
Many people think
I'm old
The
fashioned.
fact that, people whose signature is a smiley face tells me that it's not that important, but
I'm old fashioned. It's, so yeah, I could see how a lot of people wouldn't.
it just seems like
Certainly.
the volume of things we're needing to teach is increasing while we continue to not let go of legacy things that aren't actually in use day to day.
Regardless of how we feel about it, it is a state mandate,
understand.
so.
Yeah, we'll teach it.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
But the point is, the argument is there,
Mhm,
and to your point, we have to focus on something,
mhm.
because there's so many, we're scattered, there's a lot to teach.
Well, I share the concern about the writing skills much more than I do about the specifics of penmanship, but if I was gonna leave one by the wayside, I'd care more about sentence structure than
Yeah.
penmanship.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree with that.
So there's a priority.
Yeah,
So how do we prioritize so that our teachers who are teaching writing know what to prioritize,
Mhm.
because they don't know what to prioritize if I don't know what to prioritize.
Yeah, I
Right.
agree.
Principal doesn't know what to prioritize. So those are some difficult discussions, because you have people who are adamant that handwriting cursive is the absolute must have in school.
I'm sure people have that opinion.
People have that opinion. And we'll put all kinds of research there to back up that opinion. And so, but again, it's about priority. So, okay, maybe, but maybe it's important, but how important?
Everything's about prioritization.
That's what we're doing.
I mean, you
So
can get on slippery
that's-
slope, you can say how important is spelling then. It's just my opinion, but I think, I totally agree that knowing what you're writing about, being able to communicate, putting your thoughts down would be the priority.
So we're coming up with a working definition of what writing is, to start with, to your point, it's communication. So it's being able to communicate a thought through written text, whether that be printing, typing, or handwriting. It's important. And it's hard to teach. Kids don't like to write because it takes a lot of brain load to write. People don't like to write.
The adults don't like to
A
write.
lot, adults don't like to write because it takes some focus and concentration and energy to write.
Well, I think just fine motor skills are different
And-
because they haven't been developed. So you're physically tired from writing.
Writing helps you with spelling too, I think. If you're writing the word down, you learn how to spell it.
Especially if the education process enforces the need to spell those words correctly, right? Which I know we didn't do for a period of time also.
Yeah, you're right.
So
Any
that's
other-
my update on
Any other
that.
questions on that? Next one is the approval of overnight field trips.
So that's just a heads up at our next board meeting. We'll have the approval of all the overnight field trips for the year, so that'll be
Have any changed? Yeah,
No.
same.
same as last year, same list. All the state tournament trips, Springfield, Timberley, 24-hour challenge. That's it.
Okay. Future agenda items, which is the approval of the board policies and recommendations. That's for the future, right?
Yep, they'll be on they've been on for first reading and now they'll be on for approval at the next meeting. Erica brought up a point and I had a question on the attendance policy, but, when I looked at it, there was 13, we had presented 13 different items within that policy of, points or whatever it is. And press policy had 16, but the last 3 were high school related. So they didn't pertain to us. It was about doing continuing technical education, internships in high school, and release time for dual credit classes at a community college. So we don't have that year, so that's why it was 13 versus 16. That was it. That's the only question she had. I just wanted to clarify that, and I emailed her. We communicated. Okay, so it's all good.
Anybody want to add anything to our future agenda items? No. Superintendent report.
At some point, probably today or tomorrow, the county school facilities tax will be filed officially with the over they file with the county people, election officials, so that will be official. And at that point, the district any district official can only provide factual information, cannot advocate either for or against in that official capacity. So if you're talking to your neighbor as a board member, you can't advocate for that or against it. If you're talking as a citizen, you can say whatever you want. That gets a little tricky sometimes. So posting, for example, on Facebook, even though you're posting maybe as a public citizen,
You're representing.
you're not really a public citizen because the community sees you as a board.
Will we be given what we can say and can't say, just so that it's clear what's acceptable?
Yep, I can do that.
I think if you just preface everything by saying, speaking as a mom or speaking as a dad, not a board member, you've just covered yourself, right?
Yep.
Make that clarification at the beginning, you pretty much say anything you want, I would assume.
So in my board packet last Friday, I had a link to what I'm gonna post on the website, so that's what you can check. For sure. But if we need more details and you get more questions, we can go deeper maybe, but that pretty much covers the big pieces. And on there, Millburn's gonna receive $1.183 million. And this is what we're gonna spend it on. If we get it.
And that can go up on the website after it's filed with the county.
How do we know how much already?
Estimate.
Oh,
It's
so
an
that's
estimate.
Oh,
So that's what we would have gotten in 24-25. So inflation's probably higher last year and. Even if it could dip a little bit if the economy, if the consumer economy goes, but.
Yeah.
Probably not. The biggest thing I'd say that cause a dip would be Home Depot and Menards, so if people stop remodeling their house. We'll probably get a lot of county sales tax for that, would be my guess. It's a lot of money. Be great. It would be just enough for us to take care of our immediate basic needs for the buildings. And possibly after that, if we chose to, maybe a security officer or something, school safety officer, and that's about it. And some safety upgrades like fencing around the perimeter of the building, access controls, key fobs instead of the old keys, so we can turn people's access off and on in the summer or off times. Would be great.
If keys get lost, you don't worry
Keys
about
get lost, you don't have to worry where they are. We just
Yeah.
delete, click them off. It's great.
And we would see this money in the fall of
29, 28. If it passes in November, they want to start. It'd be the 28-29 school year, we'd start to see it coming. So right now, in the 27 budget year, it'd be for the 29. It would still live through another year. And then you only get it monthly eventually. So there's a delay, it's a delay when they give it to you, and then it comes in monthly in the state. So you don't get $1 million chunk either, it's have to save it up and then spend it, and save it up, spend it. But if you know it's coming, right?
Yep.
Then you could feel a little more comfortable either spending down some reserves, moving money and then replenishing, or because we have some in working cash, you could push that over, replace it slowly, etc. We'd have options. So that's big news coming up. That'll be very intense for the month of September as far as communicating out to our public, because September 24th is when the mail-in ballots start going in, so you have to, it's changed the whole dynamic of the voting cycle, because you have from September 24th all the way through October into that November where people are already voted, but yet you still have people out there who are going to vote, because a lot of people also vote November. Okay, second, third,
Election day.
the day,
It's
the election day.
Yeah.
It's the election day. Tuesday.
Anybody else have questions on that stuff? Do you have any more to add? You want to talk about the roof?
School starts next week. Monday.
You're good
Well,
on the
teachers
roof?
start Monday. The roof is coming along, they're done with the roof, they're gone. Great. And the tuck pointing, they're still working here today. They found spaces that they didn't include in the original quote, like inside the courtyard they missed. They didn't walk inside the courtyards here. And there's still a lot of windows and cracks inside each of the two courtyards, or maybe they got one and not the other, I can't remember. But, and then on the roof, there's also kind of a courtyard on the roof where one of our chillers lives. And they missed that too in their quote. But they included enough overage that it'll cover. There's a lot of cracks in this building.
It's old.
Well, it's not old, it's just all the expansion joints. And every window, think about every window in this building. Lots of joints. And they did a great job, they replaced some bricks in some spots, so if you want to look at what the new bricks look like over on the east gym entrance. When you're looking at the east gym entrance on the left side, about this high up and to the ground, it's all new bricks.
By the
Because
playground there?
that's by the playground, that's where it was kind of moving, that wall was starting to bow out, and they had to replace the whole layer of bricks, and it looks really nice. So they're doing a great job. And it'll be done, we'll be try.
Anything else you want to say about school starting next week, other than it's starting next week? You?
Looking forward to the kids and the teachers coming back, but be fun. We had new parents come in tonight, new families orientation was tonight, so the cafeteria was pretty full here. There's a lot of new families coming in this year, so, and not just kindergarten families. A lot of new families, so that's great. They're excited.
Good. Moving on before, if anybody's listening, we don't have our screens up tonight, so Carly's gonna wing the business office report without any screens.
It's okay, so just a really quick update, at the next board meeting, there will be a special hearing for the budget. For approval of the budget, and I've just made a minor couple of tweaks since the draft budget, so. There's an increase of $7,500 in expenditures under the education fund. a salary adjustment and some supplies, and the only reason I even put it in here at such a minor amount is just in the off chance that someone's actually looking at the presentation and the draft budget that was posted and, you know, syncs it up to the actual budget that will be filed with the state. And that is it.
Any questions? All good?
All good.
Board reports. Volleyball camp started for Millburn today for my daughter. She said there were a ton of people there, so looking forward to starting the school year with some sporting activities. All good. Do we have closed session tonight? So we're gonna skip past the closed session. Do I have a motion?
Motion to adjourn?
I'll second that.
We are now adjourned.